We all know the bike industry has gone crazy in terms of prices, but is it just the UK and perhaps Europe that are getting ripped off for bikes? Good morning and welcome to a beautifully sunny, if not quite windy actually, ride on a Sunday morning in Essex. It's just Jimmy and I out again this morning and we are heading, well, I don't really know where. We've got a general direction in mind, but no real route. So let's just see where this ride takes us. But I've got something very important to talk to you about today. But before that, we've got a more pressing issue. And that is Jimmy's out on his gravel bike and the seat appears to be a little bit low. I swear I didn't leave it that low when I first built it, but his legs are definitely very bent at the bottom of the pedal stroke. So yeah, let's go and get that sorted out and then hopefully we can have a decent ride. Although at the moment, I fear that Jimmy's legs not being straight at the bottom of the pedal stroke is the only thing that's allowing me to keep up with him. How's it feeling, Jimbo?
It might be the Reaver effect that's lowered the saddle slightly.
Yeah, in fairness, the Dirty Reaver was very lumpy and bumpy, so it wouldn't be surprising at all if that had loosened the seat clamp, allowing the seat to slide down. But anyway, let's get this sorted and then we can get on with the ride.
I feel like they will never let me shine. What do you need to say that feels so?
So just explain to me again why you're on your gravel bike this morning.
It's a love thing. I've got so many lovely memories on her from Reaver. Last week it was the Flitch, another beautiful ride. I can't put her down. Really, I can't. And she's good on the flat as well, on the road. She's very versatile. So my Boardman, which I love, and is lighter and more suited to these conditions, safely tucked away at home.
Taking a back seat.
Taking a back seat. It's just love. It's pure love.
Right, let's get this saddle sorted out before he has a trouser accident of some description. Just try that. Have a spin around on that. Oh, that looks better. You're on tiptoes.
That's where it should be. Oh, that's better. Oh, I love her even more now. Now she's taller. She's taller. Bike fits. Yeah, we'll do another something on bike fits. I've never had one. It's come up in the chat. Would it make a difference to us? We potter around, going for cups of tea. How important is it? Don't know. I want one.
Yeah, I must admit, I have considered a bike fit on a number of occasions. Annoyingly, Jimmy is one of those people where I don't think a bike fit would matter. The fact that he's probably been riding that like that in the wrong position for quite some time, and he did 130 kilometers, was it? 130 kilometers, 85 miles, 85 miles, something like that, on the Dirty Reaver. Absolutely smashed me. Got around there much faster than I could have done, kept having to wait for me. Jimmy is one of those, I'm gonna say it, annoying people where a bike fit isn't the be all and end all. I remember watching one of Katie Kookaburra's videos a little while ago and I can't, for the life of me, I apologise, remember the bike fit guy that she goes to. But he said there's three types of people for bike fits. There are macro riders, micro riders, and then people in the middle. Jimmy is one of the, I think it's the macro riders, where they can pretty much ride in any position and it doesn't really bother them. They can still get on, they can still perform. And the fact that he used to ride with red cleats, the dreaded red cleats that give absolutely no float or movement in the ankle whatsoever, and he had no issue, rode those for years and had no issue with it. So yeah, as I say, one of those annoying people that can just get on any bike, whatever size it is, and ride it fantastically. But yeah, not so much with me. Maybe I do need to go and get a bike fit, and there is a guy close to me, so I should probably hit him up and get in there for a bike fit. But yeah, that's probably a chat for another time.
I never knew the coloured cleats meant anything. I thought it was just pretty colours. Your preference, I'll go for the red ones this time. I had the yellow ones before, I'll go for red. I never knew until you told me they made a difference.
Yeah, see what I mean? Annoying. There was actually one of the comments on the Dirty Reaver video, something along the lines of, Jimmy's poor legs, I can't believe he rode all that way with his seat too low, or something along those lines. And when I looked at it in the video, I didn't think it looked too bad, but yeah, looking at it this morning, it definitely needed changing. And he's just mentioned it does immediately feel better, so yeah, I think I'm going to be struggling to catch up now, even on his very rolling resistant knobbly gravel tyres. He's on a gravel bike, he don't care.
I might be a bit more
gung-ho.
Yeah, you know, rebellious today. Excuse me if I sort of, you know, step out of line. It's just a bike.
Well, talking of annoying, such as I was earlier, it's just started raining. This wasn't in the forecast this morning. Glorious when we came out. Hopefully it's just a very quick shower because neither of us have come prepared for rain. But even more annoying than the rain is the fact that my Garmin, once again, didn't auto start this morning. And I only realised a little way in. So although we're 11 miles into this ride, I'm currently showing 10 kilometres. But despite that and the rain, the eagle-eyed amongst you will have noticed just how dirty Jimmy's gravel bike is at the moment. And I say that with no shade whatsoever because my gravel bike's exactly the same. I still haven't cleaned it after Dirty Reaver, and that was now a month ago. But that does lead me on to a video I'm looking to do very soon, which I promised at the end of the Dirty Reaver video, is that I'm going to do a full strip down inspection, re-grease and rebuild of my gravel bike. And as part of that, I'm going to give it a proper forensic cleaning because it really does need it. And thankfully, I've been helped out in that endeavour by the good people over at Muck-Off, who have sent me a very nice care package of a few of their products. So hopefully very soon I'll have a gleaming bike that will be completely maintained and I won't have any more issues with a sticky chain. Right, well, we've got a cheeky, naughty, sharp little climb coming up, and given that Jimmy's on the gravel bike, I might just have a chance to keep up with him today, but let's see. So there you go, that solves it. If I ever want to keep up with Jimmy, I just need to make sure he comes out on a big, heavy aluminium gravel bike with big knobbly tyres. Simple. Right, well, having only done 16 kilometres on my Garmin, but probably about 15, 16 miles by now, I think it's time to stop for a bite to eat. I will actually chat to you about the subject of this video as soon as we finish breakfast.
Have you got 3 pals on yourself? Hey, little mates.
What is going on? I've picked up...
This one.
What's going on? I am Caterpillar Man this morning, it appears. Right, lovely pan of chocolat and cup of tea done. Let's get back on the road, although the rain has started again. Literally as we walk out, the rain starts. Great. Right, so going back to the topic of this very video, we all know that the biking industry is on its knees at the moment, especially post-COVID. But despite that, bike prices are at an all-time high. And if you wanted even a mid-range carbon bike at the moment, you're looking at dropping at least £3,000 to £4,000 if you buy from one of the big name brands. But a post that I saw in one of the international gravel groups that I'm in on Facebook recently made me wonder if it's just the UK where we're getting absolutely ripped off for bike prices. And the reason I say that is because someone in the States recently posted a photo of a gravel bike, an aluminium gravel bike, by a company called Ozark Trail. Never heard of them, but it's clearly an American brand. But it was a gravel bike with 700C Kenda tyres, an L2 group set, and that's the first time I've ever seen an L2 group set on a brand new bike from the manufacturer, and lots of bottle bosses all over it, so it would be ideal as a bike packing setup as well. Oh, and it also had disc brakes, albeit that they were mechanical, cable actuated disc brakes, which, yeah, I've probably said before, I absolutely detest. But that aside, how much would you expect to pay for a bike with that spec over here in the UK? 500-600 quid maybe? Even from somewhere like Decathlon, you're looking at spending £500 before you get any kind of decent gravel bike. This one in the States, $248, 185 quid. What? Now, in fairness, that was just for the small and medium frame. If you wanted the large frame, which is currently out of stock actually, but if you did want the large frame when it was in stock, it's an extra $30 at $278, but that's still only around about 200 quid for an aluminium 700C disc brake bike packing setup with a decent Chinese group set on it. And the thing is, it's not even as though it's a dodgy bike, because I've read quite a few reviews on it and people actually rate it, and there are entire Facebook groups dedicated to people who have made some pretty nifty upgrades to it as well. So it seems like not even a pretty decent, but actually a pretty good all-round gravel bike, again for 185 quid. So is it just the UK that are having to pay 3 or 4 times that for a decent entry-level gravel bike, and even more if you want a mid-level bike? People watching in Europe, let me know, can you get a bike there for around about that price with that spec? I was so impressed with it that I was even considering having one shipped over from the US to the UK to do a strip down, have a proper inspection of it to see what it's like from the inside out. and to give it a ride review. But when I looked up freight forwarding and trying to get a bike shipped from the US, it was going to cost me about 700 quid, which then got me thinking I could probably fly to America and back for cheaper than that. Fly over one day to New York, Newark. I've actually looked this up, believe it or not. Go to the Walmart Supercenter in New Jersey, pick the bike up, back to the airport the next day, or even the same day if I could make the flights work out, and bring it back to the UK. That would definitely be cheaper than 700 quid. But unfortunately, with the state of immigration in the US at the moment, I've recently heard stories of people going over there for holidays and being detained for 3 or 4 days in detention centres for literally no reason. So I thought a bloke going over for one night to pick up a bike for a YouTube video, yeah, that's going to get looked at quite suspiciously, and I don't fancy spending a couple of nights in a detention centre. That aside, I'm still very keen on getting hold of one of these bikes, so if anyone knows a cheap way of flying a bike from the States to the UK, please leave me a comment below and let me know, because I want to do a strip down and review of this bike to see if it really is as good as some of the reviews I've read online. Also, it would be interesting to know exactly where the frame is made, because what with the current import tax situation in the States at the moment, it would seem surprising if that bike is Chinese made, because what with the tariffs, 150% or something at one point? Surely the frame alone would cost more than 185 quid to get it into the country, and that's before you add the wheels, the group set and everything else to it. So yeah, anyone in the States, is that an average price for a cheap bike over there? Is that what you'd be looking to pay, or is that rock bottom price for you guys as well? And equally, anyone in Europe, what's the basic price that you'll pay for a bottom of the range gravel bike? Right, well, we're very nearly at the end of this ride, and all of a sudden the wind has picked up. Oh, so riding one-handed is getting a bit sketchy, so let's get to the end of this ride and I'll give you my final thoughts on this bike. And of course, just after I finished recording, I decided to take my jersey off because it's getting very warm and the heavens open up, and now we're suffering the watery based punishment of the Lord, it would seem. Ah, let's get home.
That little extra bit when we could have turned back for home is going to get us up Cheddar Gorge, right? And if we slay the heart of Cheddar Gorge, the rest of the beast, Cardiff, is easy. That 20 minutes there, we could have turned home, and we hammered it out and back. Cheddar.
Well, there you go, typical British springtime ride. Despite the sudden downpour, Jimmy decided that he wanted to go a little bit further because he wanted to get it up to 2.5 hours today, which I was okay with, to be honest, because as I said earlier, my Garmin didn't start at the right time. I think I've turned off the auto start-stop, because also when we got to the cafe stop, our average speed was about 23 kilometers an hour, and then when we came back out, it had gone down to 14 kilometers per hour. So yeah, clearly the auto stop has been turned off of my Garmin. It's my fault, not Garmin's. But actually, I'm less worried about losing the mileage and more worried about losing the time, because with the Project 400 this year, with me going for 400 hours of activity, I'm much more concerned about time on the bike rather than miles I've done on the bike. So yeah, that little extra 20 minutes was absolutely fine with me. But yes, going back to this Ozark Trail bike, what do you guys think? Have you heard about the bike and have you read good reviews about it? Because everything I've read so far has been very, very positive. And for a bike that costs just $248 or 185 quid, that can't be bad. And I'm very jealous of our American cousins for having access to deals such as good as that. God bless Walmart. But as I said earlier, in Europe or in the rest of the UK, let me know if you've seen a bike deal as good as that for a brand new bike. There are definitely some second-hand deals out there that can get you down to that price, but to be honest, even some second-hand bikes are more expensive than that, which seems absolutely crazy. So yeah, I'm interested to know, are we being ripped off in the UK and possibly Europe? And do Americans have a much better deal than we do? Sound off in the comments below, let me know. But otherwise, thanks to that being a very, very wet and mucky ride at the end, this bike's gonna need cleaning now as well, but I'm going to save that for another video. But once again, I'm going to say thanks to Muck Off for sending me the care package through, because yeah, this bike and my gravel bike definitely need a good clean. So keep an eye out for that video soon, and otherwise I hope you found this one interesting, and I will see you in the next one. Take care guys, see you later.